Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is the Bayou Breakdown, and we're joined, as always, for the last time this year by Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
Brian, I am glad the season is over, man. That's what this comes down to. I think the game really encapsulates that as well. But otherwise, otherwise we're fine.
Yes, a 7-10 loss to the Panthers to end the season. 7-10 for the Saints. Not what we were expecting coming into the season.
No,
I think we both thought that the South was very winnable, which it was. To be fair, it was a very
proven,
winnable
yeah,
division. Realistically, they're only one game away from the leader of the South that won. So,
somehow.
um, yeah. But take me through this game. What'd you see out there, and then we can kind of talk about the rest of the season and all that.
Definitely. I think we saw a lot. Just trying to look at this very objectively here. I think we saw a lot of what we've seen in the majority of games this year, basically aside from the first game of the season, where the offense starts out okay. There's Andy Dalton throws up a prayer, and somebody makes a nice move and scores a touchdown, and then the offense is non-existent for the rest of the game, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. So I think nice to see Olave still out there making catches. He's our guy, 1,000-yard receiver in his first rookie year. That's cool. Um, First Saint to do that since Michael Thomas. Um, and we've got Rashid Shaheed blossoming a little bit. He made some nice plays. I mean, overall, man, it's like we in a game where we let up 43 air yards to the Panthers and we scored 7 points and they somehow outscored us. Um, I think that tells you all it needs to tell you that our offense is dismal. Um,
Yeah, so let's go there. As you said, Sam Darnold, 5 of 15, 43 yards, two interceptions. Chuba Hubbard, 21 carries, 69 yards. Deonta Foreman, 12 for 68, and Darnold had 32 on six. Not a lot of offense from the
no.
Panthers.
Mm-mm.
Um, what did the Saints do to kind of make Sam Darnold's life a nightmare in this
I
game?
mean, yeah, I think I actually want to give credit to Dennis Allen here because this is probably the one thing he's done well, and that's he's rectified the defense a little bit, finally figured out how to utilize not a or blitzing safety in CJ Gardner Johnson because obviously he's long gone. But he finally figured out like, okay, how are we going to fill this void and still have an imposing presence up the middle? I mean 21 carries for 69 yards is still like from a yards per carry perspective is pretty decent from a defensive standpoint. Um, I mean, Demario Davis always has been our I would say I would be remiss to not talk about Caden Ellis's work as well. He's a great guy. I mean basically that's what it was, right? You stuff the run. Our corners, our safeties have been playing really well. Obviously, nice to have Marshawn back. I think that goes to show kind of what it looks like when you have a healthy Marshawn Lattimore. Um, the air becomes a much more dangerous place to play. Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger looks like he's come back to life basically the second half of the season. So you know. I'm looking forward to next year. That's what I'm going to say on that. But yeah, basically Sam Darnold. I mean, the man already has said that he's seen ghosts before when we're trying to read defenses. So not I don't want to even necessarily say this was so much of an impressive performance as it was a bad performance for him and an interim coach on that Panthers team. But it's nice to see our defense solidified, and it feels like they have something to look forward to going into next year. But I mean, in a game where you let up, I think in the last 8 games, the Saints have let up less than 20 points, and they've lost the majority of them. So, um, I
That's
mean,
good.
that's good for the
Yeah.
defense, and then the second half of that is atrocious for the offense. But that's what you get when you start Andy Dalton every week.
Yeah, Andy Dalton went 15, 25, 171 yards, one touchdown. Alvin Kamara led the way on the ground with 107 on 23. And like you said, Chris Olave really the standout of this game, standout of probably the Saints season
Hmm.
on offense, 5 receptions, 60 yards, one touchdown. I think he's a future star, but I think we're
Hmm.
gonna have to get him a better QB than Andy Dalton. What was the Andy Dalton experience like in this game, and then just generally?
I think this game perfectly encapsulated Andy Dalton. I think it is mid. I think that is the Andy
Mhm.
Dalton experience, just mid,
Yeah,
aggressively mid. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, I will say there has been a really nice emergence of Rashid Shaheed and Olave, obviously, this year. Two young guys who we can work with going forward. I think Juwan Johnson, obviously, is a really nice physical pass catcher as well. but not from Andy Dalton. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. I do not know what Dennis Allen was thinking when he just refused to play Jameis the second half of this year. I don't know if there's something we don't know,
Mm,
um, or what the hell's going on there, because there's no way in my mind that Andy Dalton is a better option at quarterback than Jameis when you're
mm,
trying to win games. Um, Andy Dalton's a game manager. You have a defense that's good enough for that now, but he's like, when you don't know how to call offensive plays, and Pete Carmichael has been a complete nightmare.
mm.
I don't know. You have to have somebody out there who can have that explosive, that X factor, and Jameis has that, honestly, and Dalton doesn't really. He looks lost, frankly.
Yeah. No, it's been tough.
Yeah,
Having to have him out there. Was there any bright spot on offense other than Olave? Like you said, Rashid Shaheed, he's coming on.
he
Alvin
is. He is.
Kamara, he's still playing decently well, right? I don't know if he's
107 yards. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I mean, look, I'm an Alvin Kamara fan, and I always will be. I think. I
Mm,
don't know if he's gonna be on this team next year, though. Frankly, I think. I
right,
mean,
yeah.
there's a good possibility that we have to draft or trade for a running back, just because like we need to capitalize on the value we get for him now. And if we're
Mm,
going into some sort of rebuild because we have two young studs at receiver and a rock solid defense, then we need to figure out what the hell we're doing there, because we need to get
yeah.
something back. We're probably going to end up having to trade Sean Payton, because I don't doubt he's coming back to this dumpster fire. Um, and I don't know, man. I think that those are the bright spots, really.
Yeah. So all right, let's go there. Obviously, Saints lost. We covered it. They're
Yeah,
7 and
they
10. It
stink.
is
Right.
what it is. Do you think Dennis Allen is going to be the coach into next year?
The only reason That's a great question. The only reason that I think he would not be the coach, honestly, is if Sean Payton came back and said, I wanna be here."
Mhm.
But in early indications say that's not the case. Early indications
Yeah,
say that he's already talked to Denver. I assume Chargers are gonna want to talk to him. I assume Arizona, after they fired Cliff Kingsbury, is gonna want to talk to him.
true.
Um, I don't know,
Who
man.
else
I
got
think
the Texans? But I
Lovey
don't think
Smith.
Sean
I
Payton
don't
has
think
any interest in the Texans.
I
So
doubt Sean Payton wants to go work with Davis Mills right now, frankly. Um,
no, yeah, I don't think so.
I doubt it. And yeah, I think yeah, no shot. Frankly, I doubt he's going to Carolina too. I doubt you
No,
that Mickey Loomis is
definitely
not going to
not.
let that happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you want to work with that team? But no, I think that's something you have to look forward to. Is it time to tear it down and start going on a rebuild, or do you
Mm,
try to build off of this rock solid defense that you have now? Because that's what they are. They're a solid defense.
yeah.
You know they're going to draft more defensive players. Lots and lots and lots of defensive injuries this year, and they once people came back and they filled in back in their spots, you could see how dominant this defense can be. Um, I think we just need to get a quarterback. That's what it comes down to. If we can look, and again, if we can keep Kamara around, great. But we need to have a quarterback, whether it be a veteran, proven guy who's better than Andy Dalton, please,
Mm,
um, starting all year for us, basically. That's I think what we need to be competitive.
yeah. So I guess they don't have a first round pick, right?
No,
Um,
nope,
not
not right now, at
not the
least.
best. Yeah. Hopefully they'll get one. Maybe even a couple
Yeah,
from
maybe.
Sean Payton. Do you think there's any chance that, like you said, they do blow this up? That it's just like, at least offensively, just like we're gonna suck for another year, maybe, but we're gonna get a couple picks and we're gonna load back up and we're gonna try to do something here.
I don't know, man. The thing that I keep thinking about is I don't know how much longer like Cam Jordan and Demario Davis are going to be effective, and they
Yeah.
really are the inner nucleus of that defense. I mean, that's a great point, though. I think if anything, I think they have to make moves this offseason. Maybe they, instead of trying to go for draft capital, they just do player for player trades, or maybe they trade away some more of their picks this coming year.
Mhm.
Um, Probably not first round picks, right? But you could probably send. I mean, there's some decent QB free agents this coming year. Is that right?
There's Jimmy G, Derek Carr almost certainly will be on the move.
Definitely.
Lamar Jackson, it seems like him and the Ravens are
I'd kill for
at
Lamar.
yeah.
Yeah,
So obviously his big thing will be his contract. Like
yeah, you're right.
what are you gonna pay him? I mean, I think he's a great quarterback. I don't know if everyone agrees with that. I've always been a Lamar fan. I've always been someone who's like championed him as a quarterback. I think the Ravens are stupid to think
Same.
that they can just like replace him. In my opinion, like I don't
I'll
see
resign.
why.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah,
Flacco
they're
coming back.
run it back
Run it back.
from 2012.
Yeah,
What's Ray
that's right.
Lewis doing? Get him
Yeah,
back
give
out
him a
there.
ring. Give him a ring.
Yeah, but I think they're foolish to believe that they can find someone as good as Lamar Jackson. Like you're seeing it right now. Drew Brees retired. You have fucking Andy Dalton
Yeah,
starting. It's not
there
fun
is a
when
real
your
drop off.
superstar quarterback retires. I
Or
only
Tom
saw
Brady to the
the
Bucks.
aftermath. Yeah, I only saw the aftermath of that in Miami. I never got to experience the Marino years, but I did get to experience all the who the hell are these players getting trotted out there week after week. So good luck to you, Baltimore, if you think, you know, you can just replace Lamar Jackson.
It's
But
not happening.
yeah, I mean, I think Derek Carr could be good in New Orleans. I think he's a little underrated as a quarterback because
I think so too.
I'm gonna be fucking honest, the Raiders as an organization sucks
All right,
a
dumpster
lot.
fire. Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, this year they got Devontae Adams, which was sick, but generally they're a pretty bad team. So I think he's elevated them in some ways in
for
his
sure.
career. So I could see Derek Carr coming to New Orleans possibly. It's also in a dome. That's attractive, I feel like, for
I think
passers,
so.
anyways.
I agree
Um,
completely.
just ask Drew Brees if he enjoyed throwing in the dome compared to throwing like outside. Like,
Yeah,
come
you look at
on.
his career numbers, and I'm sure he's gonna tell you it was a good time. I mean, an interesting option that I've thought of recently, and I don't know what's gonna happen with this, is Geno Smith, right? And the reason I say Geno, he's older, obviously. He did
Right?
just break Russell Wilson's franchise passing record and the
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks. Like,
Led the Seahawks to the playoffs.
led him to the playoffs. I mean, he's an intriguing stopgap guy. I don't know if he's basically like a worse Lamar, though, right? So obviously, if you can get Lamar and lock him up, you do
Yeah.
that. But Derek Carr, I think, is a good option, but he's still under contract for a couple of years, a massive contract, might I add. Um,
Yes.
Jimmy
Yes.
G is a free agent, though, right? So
Yeah.
Jimmy G's a free agent. Gino's a free agent. I don't think Gino. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going for Gino necessarily here, but
Yeah. I think Gino will get like a 3-year, $30 million contract somewhere in that
somewhere,
range, like
yeah,
which
could
is
be
not
Carolina,
bad
right?
at all. For
Right.
yeah, I mean the
No,
Seahawks probably should resign him if they can, but if he wants to go out there and see if he can make more money, I wouldn't blame him. He's
I
coming
don't blame him
off
either.
a real career resurgence to lead the Seahawks to the playoffs when everyone was like, yeah, this team's dead, like
Yeah,
100%. Like
he really pulled
I
it out.
I've been so enjoying the Geno Renaissance. But
Me too.
yeah.
For sure. It's good to have him around. I mean, I guess Baker is also an option, right? Like there really are so many
Oh,
options out
Baker
there.
Mayfield, yeah, he's
Yeah.
going to be free agent too. So we'll see. Obviously, we'll obviously report back, do a supplemental off-season episode if anything crazy happens. But
Which I'd
other than that,
like.
Jack,
Hopefully it's a good thing. Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, anything else you wanted to cover on this episode?
No, I guess not. I'm looking forward to 2023. That's for dang sure. The 2023
Yes,
season, I should say. Yeah,
yes, we're
we're
here.
done with this year.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Jack. Where can they find you online?
Best place to find me is on Twitter, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. Follow me there. You can also follow my disc golf account on Instagram. That's at Jack Disc Golfs. Follow me those places, guys.
Awesome. Go follow them there. You can follow me on Twitter at the fake BMAR. It's BMARR. Channel is on Twitter at Where You Get Sport or WG Everything. Instagram, search Where You Get Sport, search Where You Get Everything. Twitch, twitch.tv/Where You Get Everything. And on TikTok, search Where You Get Sports and search Where You Get Everything. Jack, thanks so much for your time.
Of course, Brian, thanks for having me.
We'll see you all in the next one.